What's up, Skirts Up Squad? It's Samantha,
And Melissa.
and we are excited to be here for our bonus content.
Yes, that's right. So we decided we wanted to kind of explain ourselves a little bit better about how the evolution of us came into being.
Mhm.
Like, how did we start the podcast? What was our initial idea?
Mm-hmm.
Why did we end up calling it Skirts Up?
That's a fun question.
That is a fun question. We'll get into more of that for sure. But, like, what? Okay, so obviously, New Year's Eve, we decided we wanted to do a podcast together.
Yeah, I think we had mulled around the idea a little bit before. It was like 2 weeks before New Year's, and I don't know what spawned it, but somehow we ended up on a phone call, and we were like, "Hey, this is something that we want to talk about," and we were like, "Yeah, this is something that we should talk about." And then New Year's Eve, we were together for dinner and playing games, and we were like, "Yeah, we're gonna do it."
Well, actually, I remember saying, because I've always thought of wanting to do a podcast in the past. Like, I have. But I feel like it just never happened. And then Sam made it happen. Like, she did. Like, you did. I'm very proud of you.
We said
we wanted one. And I'm so proud of all the lengths that she's gone to, because she is our producer. She's our editor. She's our all the things. So kudos to you, first of all.
Let me pull in a Nora.
Yeah. That's so cute. So yeah, like, it happened, and it was so exciting, and it snowballed. Oh, and then she's like, I found us a mentor.
Oh, yes,
right?
Yeah.
And then the mentor was like, you guys need to decide what you want to be. And we said, we know what we want to be.
She
we
gave us the steps. That's right. Podcast called Have You Ever? And so each episode was going to be like, have you ever had a one-night stand? Have you ever
found somebody on Ancestry?
Yeah. And so that was going to be like the gist of our episodes. And she was like, great, that's an awesome idea. And then she goes, but have you looked up Have You Ever? And
there were already like tons of podcasts.
Yeah, would not have stood out.
We wouldn't have been.
I feel like it's still a great idea in theory, and like
I feel like we're still doing it. We're still kind of like the same thing that we started out wanting to be.
Yeah, because I mean, have you ever been curious about spirituality? Like, probably would have been the name of an episode, but like it's kind of been multiple episodes of us exploring
life,
like,
yeah. And so then we were kind of like, okay, well, what are we gonna name? Yeah, we were definitely like, well, shit. But what are we gonna call ourselves? We knew what we wanted. We wanted a basis of like non-judgmental community where we could talk about things, and maybe
feel
like
connected.
Yeah. And be like, oh yeah, I have had that happen to me, or no, I haven't, but now I can see somebody else's point of view.
Yeah, I haven't thought of it that way. That makes sense. Maybe I don't agree. Maybe I now agree, but let me think about that.
Right.
Like, just thought-inducing and just more understanding. And
so we knew what we wanted.
Yeah.
And I don't really feel like that has changed much.
You're right. But
we had to find a name.
It was called Have You Ever? Like, I mean, we had an email, we had like all the things.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And then we're like, crap, no, she's right. Like, we need to
we
figure
were
it
even
out.
looking up how to get the domain.
Yeah, we were.
I forgot.
And so
I might have even bought HaveYouEver.net or something.
I don't think so. I don't think we went that far.
Well,
no, because
we went far enough that we were super annoyed.
We were sitting at Melissa's quilt shop, and I mean, we for like 4 hours we're sitting there using the thesaurus on like, okay, what words mean this, what phrase would mean this, how could
what evokes the feeling of
I mean, hours. And we're just sitting there like, and how my brain works is that when I'm trying to come up with something clever or creative or something that's like a spin-off of something, I think of words start spinning through my head.
You're such a good brainstormer. I love brainstorming with you, because I don't work well in a vacuum. Like, you couldn't put me alone and be like, okay, come up with this. But if you do what you do, which we work so well together, because she does start spitting things out, and then I'm able to kind of
I feel like I could easily trigger your like ADHD, like, or ADD, because I just start spitballing words and throwing words out to where we have to write them down really fast.
That's true, but the ideas are coming.
They are coming. I mean, I don't even know if I could recall like what all we had on the paper, because we kept spitting out words.
We were like, okay, well, and now our porch talk is kind of part of it, because at one point we were even like, okay, what's like, you're sitting back with a sweet tea.
Because we want it to be chill, relaxed, fun. Like,
yeah, you can talk to us, right? We're your friends. And then how did it come? Oh, then we were like, okay, Tell me, you said something. How did the skirts up part happen?
So
this was on the way to lunch. We started like, okay, dude, we
sat in the office for so long that it just got to like the point of burnout where I was like, okay, my brain's dead now. Now nothing's coming to my brain. Nothing. And so we were like really frustrated. And so we were like, we're going to lunch. And so we're driving, and I'm just like silently sitting there, and I think she's like, are you okay? Like, it'll come to us. And I just like don't respond. And then I'm like, skirts up?
Yeah, you said something. I just wish I could remember.
I think I was like, skirts.
We were like, what's up? Hey, skirts up. And we made a joke, I feel like. And then you were like, I don't know. And I was like, yes, actually, yes, I'm liking that.
Yeah, I definitely like was just like saying something about skirts up, skirting. Oh, skirting the line.
Oh, skirting the line. That was the one I liked a lot because
I was like, because we're gonna be like rallying things up. Like it's not going to be a box. Like we're not in a box.
Right.
And
that's what it was. It was skirting the line is what we really liked next. But then we were like, but it wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect
because that can sound. To me, that sounded very like political, and I don't want to be political. Nothing that we do, I think, would be absolutely politically correct. Like this is all experimental. Like
true.
And so skirting the line to me just kind of felt like a box for some reason, and it probably wasn't. And it's just as creative.
Yeah, but that's okay because it brought us to skirts up, and then we like we're like, what would our logo be, right?
Yeah.
And I was so stuck on Rosie the Riveter.
She was, but then it brought up, that was like the first thing that came to her mind when she was finally like, okay, no, skirts up. Like, I see it, skirts up. And so we were like, okay, well, what does that mean to us? And we were like, well, it means being bold and being outside the box and being yourself and like being able to say like, oh, I can
be feminine, but I can also lift up my skirt and get to work
and do whatever needs to get done.
Right.
And so Melissa was like, well, that just makes me think of a badass, and I'm thinking of
Rosie the
Riveter. And so then we're like, okay, and Melissa's like, well, what do you see? And I was like, well, it makes me think of like a Victorian, like, you know, a pretty fancy skirt, but like with boots, like rain boots, combat boots, like work boots, like boots underneath it, because we're being
all things.
Yeah, we're being feminine, but like I don't have to be feminine. Like
yeah, exactly. Like you said earlier, we did not want to confine anything to a box.
Yeah,
we wanted to show that like we have so many different facets and sides to ourselves as humans, not just women.
Yeah,
but yeah. And so
then we didn't know what to do. And so Melissa found a friend. She has a friend. And we're actually going to be recording an episode with her, and that'll be really fun. And we just give her the random words and colors that we like.
Yeah, we did. You screenshotted a palette, and it was like this green, this rose, this mauve. And we sent those colors to her, and we said, we're imagining a girl lifting up her skirts. She's got messy hair on her head. Because she's getting down to it.
And you told her, like, you know, we're thinking of, like, you know, beautiful skirt. We're thinking about boots. We're thinking about Rosie the Riveter. Like, how do we tie all these things in? Yeah. And, I mean, I will say, we did send it back a couple of times because
we were like, no, messier hair. And she's like, but that's going to kind of mess up the cute, like, aesthetic she's got going. I was like,
exactly.
Yeah. And then you know what? She did it, and she knew how to do it. She knew how to do it, and she pulled it all together. And oh my gosh, we love our girl.
Melissa's like, messier. And she goes, are you sure? Like, and we're like, yeah. Like, she was just out in the garden.
She's like, girl, hold on. I need to get on a Zoom. She got on a Zoom video with me, and then she started drawing and erasing, and I was like, messier. And she's like, she was amazing to work with.
It was. Yeah, I think she had fun with it too, because I remember asking her, I was like, I mean, do you feel proud of this? Like, I mean, were we like making you do something that you're not like comfortable with or proud with? And she goes, no, I see what you guys are talking about, and I started feeling the vision, so now it all makes sense. And yeah, so we did obviously drop the boots, but I mean, just the messy visual, I feel like just
messy but cute, but all encompassing.
It's like she just ran her kids to school and their activities and had a full day of work, but now has a dinner party that she has to go to. And so this is what you get.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
I am coming as I am. You got the nice
okay.
dress, not the hair.
So, like, okay, so now why are we doing a video? What has happened that has made us realize we need to explain what skirts up means to us?
Ask me what people are saying, Melissa.
Yeah, so, you had alluded to this, and you were, okay, even in the beginning, I don't know if you remember, but you're like, is that too risky? And I was like, no, and if they think it is, they can just,
because even our husbands were questioning us. They were
like upskirt, and I'm like,
what
no.
are you talking about then? Like, doesn't that sound, Brett's the one that was like, isn't that risque?
Yeah.
And we were like,
no. Also, the one more thing I want to add is I love that you're not going to forget it. You hear skirts up and you're going to remember it.
Someone did say that to me over the weekend.
Oh, they did?
And I was like, because I was hanging out and she asked how the show was going, and I was sitting there and literally a pop-up had just come on I was like, well, it's going great, but I keep getting messages like this. And I show her my phone, and I mean,
yeah, this is why.
You just kind of scroll through, and I'm like, see, there's this one, there's this one, there's this one, and it's like creepy men like messaging me, and they're like, can I see, please?
Yeah.
Panties or no panties?
Because I hadn't I hadn't really been noticing that because I didn't get into our messages, and then I got into our Skirts Up page messages, and I was like, this creep just said, can I see, please? And I was like, are you serious? Like, I mean, you had told me that we were getting that, but I guess I also was just kind of like, who cares? We are what we are.
Yeah.
But I think people are going to be gross no matter.
And we've gotten judged. I mean, we've gotten judgmental, like, okay. And
some side eye.
Yeah. And you know what? That's until
okay.
you listen, like, you're just judging. I mean, what's the difference? I mean, there are, like, so many people name their things off of, like, racy words, but it has nothing to do with the racy words. It's just an attention grabber, and it's, like, something different. But
I even feel like ours means more to us.
It does mean more to us because we are making sure that we're trying to be better people and figure out who we are, and hopefully other people are along the way and are able to feel a connection to someone and like their experiences. Someone else's experience too, which reminds me that the episode that we did about Melissa and finding her sisters, the episode Secrets Revealed, 23andMe and Ancestry.com, that I've mentioned in the episode that I know people who have had similar experiences, and they have messaged me and said, tell Melissa, thank you so much. Like, that story really hits home. That is so similar to mine, and those aspects really are.
That actually makes me feel really good. And I'm not going to cry because I'm not really a crier. but that makes me feel really good because it was scary. It was a little bit scary to share that.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Yeah. So that's what we're about, and that's why we're here.
And maybe if there is some judgment against our name after they listen, people will say, oh, I get it. We're not supposed to judge.
Ding, ding, ding. But
yeah,
I think that's everything about how we are to be what we are. I can't think. I'm sure once we're done, I'll be like, oh there was this. But that's really the gist of how we became what we are and why we do what we do. And don't forget that we now have our segment on the porch where we recap our episodes. And we just kind of recap them and give our afterthoughts, correct anything that needs to get corrected. And did our mind get changed about something? Maybe. That's where...
Actually, that's where you guys come in. Please comment on our posts, and we're getting a little, we're starting to get, people are starting to come out of their shell a little bit more and comment on our Facebook page posts.
It's been so fun.
It's been so fun.
I will say I've also had fun with the hate comments. Like on Instagram, someone commented "fuck off," and I literally was that supposed to hurt my feelings? Because I literally started laughing, and I was like, "You need Jesus," and we have an episode for that. And I was like, better yet, do you need a good therapist, a great therapist? Because here's an episode for that. I hope you get help. And
you need some Zen Buddhism in your life. Here's an episode for that.
I literally was laughing so hard. I was like, oh my.
That's hilarious. Yeah. I actually haven't even gone on our Instagram.
Oh, Don't admit that. Go on our Instagram, guys. I'm being attacked by a wasp.
No, it's gone. It's gone. But yeah. So like, but yes, people actually are starting to talk to us, and we're loving it. Yeah, correct us if you think we need to be corrected. Do it. Just don't tell us to fuck off, because that's not cool.
I mean, you can tell me to fuck off. I'm a big girl, and I'll just fight you back.
That's true. Or we'll just ignore you, because you're not worth it. No, just kidding. No, just kidding. Everybody's worth it. No, but you get what we're saying.
Oh my God.
We love. That was really mean for a second, huh?
It's not them, Melissa. It's what's happened to them to make them be mean to us.
It's true. It's true. And we just learned that with our trauma therapy.
But thanks for listening. And don't forget to rate and review us. That is how we are going to continue to grow. We really appreciate everyone that's been word of mouth sharing it, because it has exploded. Our watches, downloads, and stuff have gone. Yes, it's so fun watching it grow. Hopefully we have our first big name speaker. And hopefully it works out, because that'll be really fun.
She's alluding to the fact that we are talking to a big name person. So we're hoping that it works out to get her on.
Yeah. So, because that'll feel like a huge accomplishment. I know. It'll be really exciting.
But we also like the small names too, because that's who we are too.
Yeah.
We like all the names.
All the things. I made someone giggle by saying that.
All the things?
All the things.
I love that.
It was an older lady, and she was like, I just love when people say all the things. It just makes me laugh. Like all the things. And I was like, I'm glad I could.
That's so cute.
Glad I could give you a giggle.
We like to share giggles.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
We'll catch y'all next time.
Bye, guys. Love
Bye.
you.